Hi there, everyone. I'm Sam Danley, Associate Editor of QSR and FSR magazines, and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, sponsored by Paytronix. We are going to hear all about AI today, how it can be integrated into a restaurant's operations, and the impact it can have on menu innovation and guest engagement. I have just a few quick housekeeping notes before we get started. First, a recording of this session will be linked at qsrmagazine.com. You can also use today's login link for on-demand viewing. Second, we will be answering audience questions at the end of the program, so please feel free to submit a question in the Q&A box at any time. And lastly, if you happen to run into any problems with the platform, you can just click on Help in the top menu for troubleshooting steps. And now to begin. We are joined today by Ray Gibson, a product manager at Paytronix, where he focuses on using AI and data-driven insights to elevate guest experiences, make operations more efficient, and drive innovation across the hospitality industry. And with that, I will turn things over to him to get started. Take it away, Ray.
Hey, Sam, thank you so very much. I'm so excited to be here today, guys, talking to you about all things AI. So let's just jump right in. We're going to meander through lots of different things today, talking about how AI can be leveraged and in your menu and all those great things. So really excited to be here today and talk to you all about it. First and foremost, I will tell you, and you probably already know this, but we are at the cusp of something really interesting in the industry and really in the world that's about ready to happen. And it's all about generative AI, right? I'll tell you, when I was at NRA last week, maybe it's 2 weeks ago now, the number of companies that came to talk to me that had some sort of AI, the two initials, A and I, in their name on their badge was astronomical to me. Everybody out there today is trying to figure out how to use AI in a way that's going to help solve problems, right? This is not only, C-stores and restaurants, how you guys are thinking about leveraging AI, but it's really everyone that serves you as well. All these companies out there are trying to figure out how to do it. So a couple of the key themes in this space as we think about it, how AI could help. It's about quite possibly being very smart about leveraging the data and reducing dependency on human labor. And that's great, right? That's one of the hardest things that we face today in this space is getting people hired and keeping people hired and all that stuff. So we get it. So I think AI has got some great ideas that can help there, as well as the level of change that's occurring out here today, you guys. And now it's really affecting customers. And so customers are really thinking about, does the brand actually know me? And how well does the brand know me? And it's really about making sure that the service is not only fast, but it's really, really personalized. And AI can help in this space as well, right? If you think about, all the data that exists in our systems today, and the ways that people interact with us and the data, we ought to be able to have a tool help, right? Understand, hey, that's Ray. Ray's a vegan. Ray never orders meat, right, as a scenario, right? So why not give Ray a special menu that never shows any meat on it, only all of our vegan offerings? And so it's really about adopting advanced technology, right? Leveraging companies out there that are doing it. So we'll cover some of those things as well, how to maybe get through that or walk a path down that road. And really, it's about, again, customer engagement. Customers don't need to come to your restaurant to eat, right? They want to come to your restaurant to eat because of certain things, right? How they're treated, how they feel, the quality of your food, of course, and all those things. So it is so much about making sure that customer engagement is on point and is something that's really focused on. And it's all about personalization. And one way you can get there, you guys probably already know this, and it's just through a really robust loyalty program. If we think about now AI as a solution, right? There are tons now of different AI engines out there, agentic engines, right? Different versions. It's Claude, it's ChatGPT, it's Monet. It's all the different solutions out there. They're all coming out, and they're coming out at such a fast pace. What should we be thinking about if we're trying to figure out what sort of AI we should leverage in our business? And one is through leveraging AI to reduce costs, right? So are there things that it can do to minimize operational time? Are there things that it can do to really help increase resource efficiency, right? So, right, it's not about getting rid of someone, but putting them in a position where they can be more impactful, right? Quicker operations, serve the guests faster, get a faster delivery out there, those kinds of things. From an AI perspective, right, one of the things that we built in, well, we built in a lot of AI into our products, not only in my product, the online ordering product, but in our messaging platforms as well. It's really about tailoring specific communication, leveraging the deep guest insights. Again, don't just assume, right, that I like red meat, right? Know me and make a, don't ever offer me red meat. Send me something that's really about, our new salad offerings, et cetera. It's really about making sure that the messaging is personalized, and leveraging AI to help get you there is really going to help increase guest engagement. And then thinking about how can AI drive different service models for you, right? How about in the drive-through, right? What about a kiosk? What about a chatbot, right? What about a feedback mechanism? What about voice ordering, right? What about these capabilities? So there are a myriad of different solutions. And as the previous slide shown, like there are so many companies out there today trying to figure out how to leverage this AI, get it into a solution and give it to you guys, or sell it to you. But the point here is really about making sure that they solve a problem, and this thing can do it in a really unique and great way. It's really smart technology. It learns what matters, your preferences, guest experiences. How can it boost efficiency, right? It's about reducing the need for guesswork. There's a ton of data that exists. Use AI, right? It can actually chew through it. It can synthesize it for you, and it can give you a recommendation for your inventory level, for your staffing level, right? It's really about making sure that you guys have, the right kind of information. It's like a smart assistant, but it's way more powerful than that, right? Learning guest preferences, thinking about from gathering feedback, what the guest experience looks like, and then really about speeding up operational times. We've seen this deployed in many ways. Talking about NRA, when I landed at O'Hare on Friday, my Uber fee was $155 to go 12 miles, right? And it actually took over an hour to do that. The same trip on the way back, I guess it was 3 days later, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't remember what day it was, but it was in the afternoon on the day back. That same trip back only cost me $67. And so customers, right? We now are being trained the dynamic pricing, right? Depends. Lots of people are using our solution. Maybe the price goes up, right? And so now it's thinking about, how to leverage that, quite possibly to, at the right time, adjust prices, right? In real time. right, based on weather, special events, right? There's a Cowboys game. We're gonna upcharge everything by 25% during this time, right? This window, so we can actually gain some real market share and increase our revenue base there. Super interesting, right? Increasing profit margins during peak and off-peak hours. It's really what that's all, excuse me, all about, and AI can help there. And then from a predictive ordering for inventory management, right? Again, forecasts are strengths of these solutions, right? And so it's forecasting inventory needs, it's forecasting staffing needs, right? And it's really forecasting these things based on the things that are happening around. And again, it's about reducing waste and ensuring the availability of the proper items. Man, if everybody orders your onion rings, you better make sure that you've got your onion rings on the days that you need to have the onion rings, right? And you already know that, but man, maybe there's an event happening that you weren't aware of, right? A bus pulls up, and now everyone is there. Like, how can you address those things? And so it's really about using a tool that understands not just what a typical Monday looks like at your restaurant or C-store, right? It's really about what else is happening out there in the world that can drive the different needs of your inventory and the inventory levels. Two great examples of how AI can help with order times and throughput. Well, one, increased conversion rates, right? So we have at Paytronix an ability, menu optimization. So we use AI to help set up, right? Like, for example, an A menu and a B menu, and based on, right, things like order volume. And so an example here is at National Coney Island, they leverage some of this technology to help them boost their conversion rates, over 3.5%. And from a service time reduction, AI-driven optimizations can cut service times. We've seen up to 20% or even higher. It's really about boosting throughput and reducing wait times, right? So leveraging it in the kitchen from a capacity management perspective, order throttling capabilities, right? All those things can all roll together to really create, this bump and reduction in service time and in the like. Let's not forget about the most important part, however, and that's our guest satisfaction. Here are just a couple examples to help drive that satisfaction up with the technology. AI recommendations. So according to our some of the content that we have at Paytronix, our blog, our loyalty reports, right? We report on things like this. AI recommendations doubled upsell acceptances, increased revenue and satisfaction with Uno's Pizzeria and Grill, seeing a 3% average check lift. 3%. Imagine that every check for a second, incremental. You could add 3%. Right? That turns into a good day, right? Turns into a good lunch. It turns into a good week and a good month. From a loyalty perspective, AI and loyalty programs led to a over 60-time return on investment by targeting promotions effectively. Again, personalized. And you know what it did? It drove repeat business, right? And that was for Smashburger. And using AI to help with feedback. If a customer takes the time, you guys, and sends you a note afterwards, right? My fries were soggy. The food was cold. My order was wrong. If you give them a channel, and if someone takes the time to write to you, you had better respond to that. And respond to that, hopefully, in a really timely manner. And we all get it. It's hard. Maybe only the manager has the capability to do that because they have to go sit down at a computer and respond to an email, right? But this is a huge area where AI can help. And we actually have some of this capabilities baked into our platform today in online ordering, the guest feedback module. It will actually do that for you. It'll use AI, read the message, understand the sentiment of the guest, and then if given the option, we'll be able to provide a discount, an offer, something like that back, and respond very, very quickly. So it's really about making sure you get that customer re-engaged, because an upset customer is going to go out there and post on social media. An upset customer that has reached out to you first, all right, is one that you want to grab onto and get them turned right back around, put a smile on their face, give them something, and tell them to come back next week. And really, AI can help do that. So an example of how AI can support menu planning. It's about the sales data. So it can review past sales to identify top performing and underperforming items, right? If your Reuben sandwich, no one ever orders because they don't want the corned beef on it. But you've noticed through the data that lots of people, lots of customers have subbed turkey in this. Well, maybe we should have another sandwich. Maybe we should have a different sandwich, right? Maybe we should have a turkey Reuben versus a traditional Reuben, or maybe we should have both. But maybe what we do is put turkey Reuben in the menu higher up, right? So when people are actually coming and they get to sandwiches, they see the sandwich they're wanting, which is the turkey Reuben, not the traditional Reuben. So it's really about that, suggesting menu adjustments to capitalize on guest preferences. And then recommendations, for menu updates. So leveraging AI to understand what are the food trends in your market, right? It can be regional. And so why not, right? Hot honey is the thing that everyone uses on everything now, right? It wasn't hot honey last year, and it sure wasn't hot honey the year before. If your menu hasn't changed, I think you're missing out. And leveraging AI to help figure out what's working, what's not, the sales data, the history, it's really about then understanding. And it can propose new dishes, right, based on the things you have. Give it your ingredient list. Tell it what you have and have it make a suggestion based on what's happening out there in your market, how else you could use those. It's not about necessarily having to go get the caviar, right? Let it, tell it the base ingredients that you have and let it actually help you figure out what it is that should come next. It's powerful. And capabilities exist today. Another way this technology can help is via predictive analytics. Sales forecasting for stock and staffing needs, of course, and AI is really good about presenting this data back to you in a way that you can understand. I don't know how much you guys have played around with it, but you can have it, I've actually prompted it to respond back as if I was a 7th grader, right? So it can take very difficult information and boil it down into simple terms that, right, we as humans can understand. And so really it's about that. It's really about understanding the sales trends, understanding the planning of stock when you need it, and the staffing needs during a certain shift time, right? And then making sure that the people that need this data can understand it in a visually stimulating way, and one that that leaves no guess, right? Present it back to the audience so that they can get it. It's really what predictive analytics can do for you. We think now about personalizing guest experiences, you guys. It's got to be this, right? It has to be this. There's a million burger places out there. Why do they choose to come to yours? And it's because you gave them a personalized guest experience. The example I talked about earlier a couple times, if I'm a vegan, I'm coming to your burger place, and I'm getting a grilled cheese, right? Or maybe it's not your burger place, but maybe I don't eat beef, but I do eat chicken, so I'm really about that, right? You could know that much about me as long as you had a system that was gathering that kind of data. And so AI can help with that. It can make personalized recommendations, right? Give me a different menu option. Maybe AI learns that I'm lactose intolerant, and so don't ever offer me anything that has cheese on it. I just right, or I'm gluten free. Those types of things are really about, you know, you guys know me. It's like if I was sitting at the bar and I told the bartender, and I'm in every Thursday, he knows I like a rye old fashioned, right? I just come in and he makes me a drink. That is the kind of service that we as customers today are really trying to figure out. And in the unsure times that we're in, right? It's FUD, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. What is this economy doing for us? Our customers actually, I read an article yesterday that said, some customers are not going out during the week, but are spurging a bit more on the weekends. Well, let's make sure that those guests that do come out during the weekends are treated especially, and leveraging AI can help with that. Well, great. So Ray, you told me about a whole bunch of different capabilities and technology. That's phenomenal. I've seen from the news that this Gen AI stuff is blowing up. There's tons of companies out there providing solutions. What are things that you should be looking at as you guys think and go down this path of figuring out how to get AI in? And I will tell you, you need to start. If you're not leveraging it today in any way, shape, or form, let this meeting, let this webinar be the one thing that says, hey, we better look at it. The reason why, you guys, is if your competitors are looking at it, they're looking at ways that they can leverage this new technology to get a leg up, right? To do something better, to know your guest, to treat their guests better. So you got to get started. And the way you want to do it is to make sure that the companies that you're working for, right, have the modern day thing is like, do they have APIs, right? This means if they've got APIs, they can be integrated easily to other solutions, right? Make sure the vendor is reputable and has knowledge in this space and can really help do it. The big thing here, right? You guys have all heard about this. Don't tell ChatGPT personal things about you because you're training ChatGPT for somebody else to use. Make sure that you understand what sort of data security is bundled into the solutions that you're plugging into, right? Make sure that your data is your data. And if you're training the AI, it's only learning data from you in your space. And that's not going to benefit a competitor that's using that same solution in your space. You know what I mean? Make sure that you, or maybe it's okay for that, because maybe you're a pizza shop and this company does tons of stuff around pizza, making pizza better. You're okay with sharing your data. Just make sure you know what their security policies are around it. Make sure you understand what the privacy rules are. Make sure if it learns about your customers, what does it do with that data? The point here is that data security in this space, because it's all about these engines, right? These AI bots, everything is leveraging the data in order, it's looking through it, right? Excuse me. Data security is so very important. I alluded to it just a few minutes ago. If you haven't started, you need to start today, and the way you should do it is to start small. Start with a single location, right? Start with your corporate office. Start with one of your stores, right, that has the most tech savvy, could be the youngest, right, GM, that really wants to be on the forefront of this, right? Focus on something small, right? Start small, but get in, right? You start in the drive-through. Maybe you just start with a feedback module, right? But it's really just about making sure that as you're rolling this stuff out, that you're getting the feedback that you need. You've got the right set of KPIs, and making sure that you work with a partner that can help make the changes that you need, based on how this works. We're so new in this space that there's still a ton of things, right? The rate of change of these LLMs is dramatic, and the capabilities that these Claude has, for example, are, we didn't have these capabilities 3 months ago, but now we have them. That's how fast things are changing, and so make sure that your vendors are nimble and things like that, and can help iterate through and learn based upon the feedback. I can't highlight this enough, you guys, and it's about connecting personal experiences. It's really what it's all about. Our loyalty report, if you haven't downloaded it yet, you should go get it. It's freely made available. But it found that QSR brands that use highly personalized incentives, right? Again, I'm a vegan. Don't offer me red meat. Highly personalized incentives have driven a 90% active user rates, right? So it's really about think about how many people are in your loyalty program. 100,000. Well, 90,000 of them are actively engaged because you're giving them highly personalized incentives and offers. And so an example, one of our customers, Great Harvest Bread, they experienced a 35% increase in revenue and retention from a personalized visit challenge, right? So an example might be that, Ray comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but if we could get Ray to come in on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, right, and giving him incentive to come in on Friday, those types of things can help drive the business and really help me as a customer feel connected and special. A little bit about how AI can help on the menu front. This example comes right out of my product in online ordering. It's a recommendation engine, right? And so the example that you can see here on the slide, which is it's an AI driven out of stock recommendation. The restaurant ran out of cheese breadsticks with marinara. Leveraging AI can look at that menu item that's out and then can look at your other menu items and then make a recommendation. And so the example here is, man, we know that that's bread, cheese, and sauce, right? Simple. Well, what else do we have on our menu that contains those types of items? Garlic bread with marinara? Yeah. Fried mozzarella sticks? Okay, I can do that, right? Or bruschetta, right? Why not? Why lose sales because you're out of an item? Why not leverage, number one, why? Why do that? You don't want to do that, right? So show the item, but let AI recommend a better solution for you that actually would still check the box for me. What's hard about it is imagine doing this for every single menu item that you have or every single side item that you have, right? It's unattainable. And then hard coding it in and then the product changes, something changes about it. It's right for you need to be using AI for capabilities like this. And it's really about driving higher ticket sales, right? Forego the cheese breadsticks. Well, we just won't get them today. They're out. No, instead, I'm going to buy a higher priced item, right? The fried mozzarella sticks. One other shout out, if I can, you guys, our solution today is so tightly integrated with the Paytronix loyalty platform. You can see in this example, we have the example here is that we're leveraging pay with points. And so the points are listed right there. So you can do that in our online ordering platform because we're so niched in with the loyalty solution. Just a little tip. But again, dynamic management of stock, right? AI can automatically detect when you're out of stock and make a recommendation to suggest an alternative. It's making sure you capture that sale even though that item's out. And it's really about making sure that we can do what? Make sure we keep the guest happy, right? So it's about a seamless substitution. Maybe it's an upsell, but the point here is that we didn't lose the opportunity. The guest is still satisfied. They wanted an appetizer. They wanted breadsticks, but I got mozzarella sticks instead, and turns out my kids actually like that better. So good for me. From a loyalty perspective, right? Personalized rewards not only retain guests, but this is the key thing. It converts them into brand advocates. If we are going to get and fall into some sort of more challenging economic environment, the thing that you want to have is a database full of loyalty members. Those loyalty members will keep you alive, right? They'll keep you busy. They'll come in on Tuesday afternoon. You give them a special offer, a personalized offer, drive them in on Tuesdays when you're slow. It's really about driving repeat visits and long-term loyalty. I was talking to someone at NRA, and they were saying it was like when all ships are rising, right? When the economy is good and everything, loyalty's great. Loyalty's really great when the economy is so or a bit shaky. It's really about turning those occasional buyers into vocal brand fans. And once that happens, right, it's those guys are more likely to post out on social media, share with their friends. Guess what? They're just like their friends. They'll like your brand as well. And so it is just a flywheel of capabilities about leveraging loyalty to get there. We talked a little bit about it, but what could it look like from a step-by-step guide? Find something, pick a specific feature like customer feedback. Start small. You got to pick a good partner, right? Find out how long they've been in this AI space. Has it been months? There are lots of companies that started last month in this space, right? Do you want someone that's been there for years? Understand how supportive they are of AI. Find out how much AI is baked into their platform, and pick a good partner. Then implement the technology, right? Make sure that it works with your tech stack. Right? Are there APIs? Does it plug in? Does it talk together? Does your POS talk to your CRM? Talk to your online ordering platform? Talk to your loyalty platform? All of this stuff, right? Probably all needs to be meshed together and work great. And then it's really about measuring KPIs, right? What is the problem we're solving? What are the KPIs? And if you don't have APIs, you probably need to change your problem, right? So drive more business, drive higher check volume, drive loyalty signups, right? What is the KPI? And then you measure it, right? Make sure you can track with clear metrics. And then expand the use. So it's rinse and repeat. Expand AI use based on initial success. So what does it look like? It could be expand now this capability. You started at one location. We'll expand it to 2 more, right? Once you expand it to 5, everything is working really good. Expand it out to the rest of the organization. Or another way, you focused on one small thing, guest surveys, guest feedback, but you have a drive-through. So what sort of AI capabilities could we exist for helping in the drive-through, right? And then rinse and repeat, go through the process again. And so now you've added the capabilities, and hopefully one of the vendors that you picked has a multiple kind of capabilities that exist. But measure, track, and move forward. I'm telling you, everybody is looking for ways to figure out how to do this and to make their operations better, make their menu better, make the experience more personalized. You got to start small. If you think about maybe a checklist, I alluded to it. Confirm that your tech stack can integrate to AI. think about your POS, the CRM, loyalty platforms. Hey, this stuff costs money, right? And the way that we used to pay for software was traditional seat or maybe by a location. In the AI world, it's like, how many times do you use me, right? And so you've got to understand what those things are, plan a budget, think about what sort of training needs to happen for your team and support. And then really it's about empowering your team early, right? Success depends on people as much as it does the platform. So get these people to understand that this is great, right? That it's freeing them up from some nominal things that answering the phones when we've got a service now that does it in AI, right? And it allows them to be focused on other things. So get your team involved. Grab people, grab the location that's excited about this technology and do it. And then of course use a phased approach. Well, we call it here test AI in one location or a channel like online orders or drive-through. It's really about making sure that it's a proof point. Does it work? And are there quick wins? Again, you know about the quick wins because you've got a KPI that's tracking it. So clear success matrix. It's the thing, right? Think about, is it tracking the upsell rates or guest satisfaction? Those types of things are really important. And then once you see the impact, right, expand this in phases, location by location, or as I alluded to, feature by feature. I said a lot. There's lots of capabilities out there, you guys. If you have a problem today that you don't know how to answer, right? Or you're looking for answers, you could probably, in a few short words, describe what it is and then add a AI next to it and do a Google search and just see what comes, right? There again are so many companies out there looking to partner with a restaurant brand to prove out the technology stack. There's the landscape is changing so quickly. There'll be new ones next week, next month, and next quarter. And so if you can't find something today, it surely can be there. Or talk to a trusted advisor, right? A trusted partner that you've already got, and ask them what are they doing from an AI perspective, and how can they embed some AI into their product that can help drive higher cart values for you or out of stock suggestions and things like that. It's really about that. With that, I'm going to close, you guys. I think we're going to open it up for questions, and I'm going to turn this right back over to Sam. Thanks a lot for your time today.
All right. Thank you so much, Ray. Lots of stuff to unpack there on a topic that I know is top of mind for everyone in the restaurant industry and most industries right now. So yeah, we are going to turn to questions from the audience now. Looks like we've got some that have come in. Feel free to keep sending them in as we go through them. So the first one, and I think this one is related to Paytronix and some of the capabilities you guys have. Someone wants to know, how does the menu information make it into your system? Do you have API integrations with culinary software? If so, which ones?
Well, shoot. I don't have the list in front of me today. I will tell you this. The typical way that menu data gets into our system is through our integration with the point of sale system. And so all of the modern API based or API backed point of sale systems we have native integrations to. I think the number of POS integrations that we have access to today to do an integration with is over 35. So think of the 35 most popular point of sale systems in your space. In this space, we've got an API, or we've got an integration with them to the POS, and we can just suck the menu right over, suck it in and pull it right over into our system.
All right. I see also we got a question about reviewing the slides if they're available for download. So this webinar will be on demand on the A24 platform that we're using, or the On24 platform that we're using today. And I believe it'll also be available on the Paytronix site within about a week. Just wanted to get that one knocked out quickly here. Let's see. So another question, someone wants to know, Ray, what advice would you give for a growing brand specifically that's scaling from 5 locations to 50 and wants to implement AI smartly along the way during that growth journey?
We really, I really alluded to that, I think, or hopefully in the presentation, but it's about starting small. Pick some place, right? Feedback is just one that resonates with a lot of people that maybe you don't do today that you want to. Pick some place where you can start. Pick one of those locations that you're most tech savvy. Start there, right? Measure it, get it turned on, pick a partner, get it turned on, make it work. And then once that works, that restaurant right now is your model store for how AI can help in the guest feedback scenario. Roll it out to the rest of the locations. And once you know everyone's got it, the team's trained on it, and then bake that into your model for the next store. So now all new stores coming next have that capability. And I would think that then you could focus back on that first technology store and figure out now what other solutions could happen, right? So this is an evolving industry. Lots of things are changing, you guys, and so making sure that you stay abreast of those changes, roll them out feature by feature, location by location, and then when you've got that model, right, save it and then put that in at every store going forward.
All right, let's see another. Someone else wants to know, kind of related to what we were just talking about here, with so many tools out there, how can we distinguish between AI that is actually going to drive revenue and AI that just sounds flashy?
Yeah, the way that I do it is to think about how much incremental value can that AI solution drive, right? And what is it, right? For an example, an AI cross-sell kind of scenario, right? Where AI can make a recommendation. It sees that in your order you've got a drink and a main item, you don't have a side. So it can recommend a side based upon that main item that you've had. It's not hard-coded. You didn't hard-code fries and onion rings with that chicken sandwich. Instead, that it offers a salad, because most people that get this chicken sandwich are health conscious. It sees that from the data perspective and does the salad. That salad is incremental value, right? Is it $5.99? Figure out what solutions can drive incremental value for you guys, and it's above and beyond, and go with those solutions. Those are the ones that are real, not just sound cool.
Let's see, moving right along through this list here. We've got a question. Someone wants to know, what are some signs an operator should look for that suggests it is time to rethink their menu strategy using data or AI insights?
Well, I think a really interesting thing that they could do. They've got a PDF, right? A cut and paste off their website of what their menu is. You can plug that in to, ChatGPT, for example, and have it analyze that in your space, right? So you're a pizza place and you have these pizzas. You're a burger place. Upload that, and then ask it what the trends are in your area. Maybe it's your state, maybe it's your region, maybe it's your cuisine type. What are the trends, right? What are the dishes that the top restaurants are doing? And if there is a mishmash between what you've uploaded and what they have, I think it's probably time to take a look at, man, we're missing the boat on the hot honey, Sam. We got to get hot honey in our dishes. Let's figure out how to do it. That's just a bit of a joke, you guys know. You put hot honey on a cracker and you can sell that today. But it's just like that, right? It's the technology's there. Give it some information like your menu. Ask it to go out and look at competitors, look at the industry, look at the trends, and then use that information that comes back to help understand where you can make some changes to your menu.
All right, here, Ray. This is one definitely hit on during the presentation, but it sounds like maybe some folks out there want a little more color on this topic specifically, so I'll toss it up here for you. Someone asks about how operators can use AI to make decisions faster, particularly in fast-moving areas like inventory or out-of-stock scenarios.
I think the secret, if I could say that, is leveraging AI to be the thing that makes you go fast, right? The scenario here would be at the point of sale, the operator marks something out of stock. That out of stock message is transferred, like for example, through an API back up to us in our online ordering platform, and we can mark, right, that breadstick out of stock very quickly. I think that, depending on the point of sale system, some of them, I'll get technical for a second, have webhooks that when an item goes out of stock, they'll immediately send us a message. Some other point of sale systems, we do a polling, so every couple of minutes we go look. Either way, have that stuff happen automatically, and then leverage AI to make the recommendation on the back end, right? Very quickly. It does it magically, all right? I call it auto magically. Make that recommendation of the other thing so you don't lose that sale. So I think those are different, a way that, excuse me, you could do it. Excuse me.
Yeah, great. All right, looks like I think we've got time for maybe one more question here that I'll toss out for you, Ray. This is a good one. Someone asks, from what you've seen across the industry, what's one area where operators often underestimate the impact of AI?
I'm going to circle back again to the guest feedback. And I told you guys, it is so virtually just so impactful to make sure that you're very quick to respond to a customer, right, that has a bad issue. And because you can leverage an AI agent to do this, right, it frees up that requirement of your manager, right, checking their phone and saying, oh, we've got this thing, we've got to go do it. Leverage a tool like that to actually win that customer back. And I think the impact, if done right and done in a manner that we understand, like the AI can understand the sentiment of the message, what was wrong, and then is given the opportunity to provide a recommendation out. Is it $5 off or $15 off or a free entree the next visit? AI can do all of that stuff. And what you just did, you didn't even realize. That customer didn't go out to Facebook and belittle your brand, because what they did is they even told you that it was wrong, and no one got a response. Instead, you've earned yourself another reason to have that customer come back to your restaurant and try again, right? You'll be better, right? It was a bad thing, a bad day, something happened, right? Get them back and try again.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, yeah, I think that does it for our audience Q&A portion. So Ray, is there anything else you want to add? Any final thoughts from you before I wrap us up for the day?
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I think the point here, you guys, is just this: start, do it, something. Start today. Figure out where AI can fit into your business, and start. It's not a novelty. It's something that's coming and is gonna change the world. And so figuring out today, you're not too late, but don't delay. Get started figuring out one way that this can help your business, and go right. Start it at a location. Start with a feature. Do that, but get started so that you can understand how it works, the benefit of it, and then start to incorporate it into your and your team's daily lives.
Yeah, and there you have it. Some advice you can take to the big folks. All right, Ray. Well, that is going to conclude our program for today. So on behalf of QSR Magazine, I'd like to extend our many thanks to Paytronix for making this webinar possible, to everyone in the audience for attending and sending in your questions, and of course to Ray for taking us through it all. Before we sign off, I want to encourage everyone to fill out our survey questions. Tell us about your experience today. And as another reminder, a recording of this program will be linked on qsrmagazine.com. You can also use today's login link to view it at any time. Thanks again, and have a great day, everyone.
Take care, everyone.